It's crispy, it's golden, it's comforting. And it might be hiding something seriously disturbing. Every day, millions of Americans line up for their favorite fried chicken fix, never suspecting that behind the fryer, the heat lamp, and the smiling cashiers lies a reality that no marketing team wants you to see. We're talking about mold scraped off bread before it's toasted, chicken left sitting in warming trays for hours, food prepared by workers too rushed or undertrained to follow even the most basic hygiene standards, and sauces designed not for flavor but to cover up what's gone bad. Fried chicken may be a staple of American fast food. But what's actually happening behind those drive-through windows and touchscreen kiosks is far from savory. Across 9 major chains, from billion-dollar behemoths like KFC to regional players like Zaxby's and Bojangles, there's a disturbing pattern: speed over safety, appearance over honesty, and profit over public health. This isn't just about a bad meal. It's about what happens when food becomes a factory operation, and you, the customer, are the last to know. Let's start with the so-called king of them all. KFC didn't just invent fast food fried chicken, they turned it into an empire. But what you're being served today bears little resemblance to what Colonel Sanders built his name on: the 11 herbs and spices recipe that made the brand iconic. It's largely been replaced with MSG and artificial flavorings. Multiple former employees across more than 30 KFC locations confirmed that the seasoning blend has been streamlined into industrial compounds that prioritize shelf life and mass production over flavor. But the real danger lies in the kitchen specifically. The pressure fryers. Between 2018 and 2023, OSHA logged 47 serious injuries from KFC restaurants nationwide. Many of these involved pressure fryers exploding during peak hours, scalding workers who were ordered to skip safety protocols just to meet corporate drive-through metrics. One manager from Ohio recalled seeing a teenager suffer second-degree burns after being rushed through improper fryer training. And then there's the food itself. Health inspection logs show chicken being held under heat lamps for as long as 6 hours, far beyond recommended safety windows. That rubbery texture you sometimes get, it's not a fluke. It's a feature of food that sat too long. Worse. Yet whistleblowers from underperforming franchises exposed the practice of reusing fryer oil for weeks to cut costs, creating a bitter aftertaste and a chemical soup that's anything but appetizing. An internal audit from 2022 found that nearly 70% of stores failed to maintain safe oil temperatures during peak hours. And this is from the chain that started it all. If the original fried chicken giant has fallen this far, what about the viral newcomer that stole its crown? In 2019, Popeyes broke the internet with their chicken sandwich launch and nearly broke their own kitchens in the process. The sandwich's success was so overwhelming that locations across the country ran out of stock within 2 weeks. But when inventory returned, so did the chaos. Workers at multiple locations in Louisiana, Texas, and Georgia reported being pushed to work 16 to 18-hour shifts, many without proper breaks. Hygiene protocols collapsed under the pressure. One ex-employee in New Orleans posted video evidence of staff skipping hand-washing altogether to keep the drive-through line moving. In Harris County, Texas, 12 Popeyes locations were hit with citations for unsafe thawing practice, specifically chicken being defrosted too quickly in warm environments, leading to dangerous bacterial growth. The cross-contamination issues were even worse. Health inspectors and viral videos alike documented workers handling raw chicken with bare hands or the same gloves used for breaded, ready-to-fry pieces. A leaked training video from 2021 showed workers failing to sanitize prep stations between batches. It's not just bad practice, it's a recipe for illness. Food safety complaints spiked 43% from August 2019 to March 2020. One manager reportedly told staff, "Wash your hands on your own time." The message was clear: efficiency, not safety, was the priority. But the next chain hides behind a different disguise: wholesome, family-friendly, and quietly loaded with sodium and secrets. Chick-fil-A has perfected the illusion of wholesome fast food. Their brand radiates warmth, manners, and the promise of healthier choices. But peel back the foil wrapper on that grilled chicken sandwich, and the truth is a lot saltier. Healthy. Grilled sandwich packs over 1,400 milligrams of sodium, more than a full bag of Lay's chips. That's nearly 2/3 of your recommended daily intake in one sitting, before you even think about fries or sauces. But it's not just the salt. In 2022, the USDA uncovered antibiotic residue in samples from 3 major Chick-fil-A suppliers, directly contradicting the company's no antibiotics ever promise. Instead of issuing a public recall or statement, the brand quietly changed suppliers, leaving customers in the dark. Inside the kitchen, the drive-through culture that's praised for its speed has a hidden cost. Former employees from Atlanta and Charlotte reported being told to skip thermometer checks to keep cars moving. The pressure to meet service times turned food safety into a casualty. One anonymous employee claimed they were reprimanded for taking time to sanitize properly between handling raw and cooked food. Worse yet, industrial cleaning equipment like pressure sprayers used on kitchen floors was found to be spreading bacterial mist onto prep surfaces. A 2023 investigation in Georgia confirmed that in multiple locations, airborne contamination from these devices was compromising ready-to-eat meals. Chick-fil-A's customer service might be top-notch, but behind the scenes, speed is still winning over safety. Church's Chicken doesn't pretend to be fancy, but that doesn't excuse what insiders have exposed about their operations. In 2018, the FDA launched a sweeping investigation after more than 300 complaints of food poisoning poured in from Church's locations in Texas, Louisiana, and California. What inspectors discovered was disturbing. 42% of locations surveyed were serving chicken past its expiration date. To cover up spoilage, employees engaged in a process called rebattering, coating expired pieces in fresh batter and deep frying them again to mask discoloration and odor. A whistleblower from a Houston location posted pictures of chicken with green patches being sent to the fryer. But the rot wasn't just in the meat. Oil temperature regulation was non-existent in many kitchens, with fryers jumping between 260 and 400 degrees in the same shift. That kind of swing produces undercooked chicken masked by a burnt crust. A microbiologist hired to test samples from 6 Church's locations found salmonella in half. Pest issues piled on top. Between 2019 and 2022, inspectors from Dallas to New Orleans to LA reported rodent droppings in storage areas, cockroach nests near prep tables, and in one horrifying case a dead rat inside a flour bin. Corporate response: minimal. With each franchise left to deal with violations independently, there was no real accountability. Church's is no stranger to controversy, but the real scandal is how little they've done to clean it up. Raising Cane's built its brand on simplicity: one menu item, done well. But the truth behind that fresh, hand-breaded chicken tells a much different story. A 2022 supplier audit revealed that 78% of the chicken used by Cane's arrives pre-sliced, partially processed, and frozen, despite claims of in-house preparation. Employees simply dip the thawed strips in batter before tossing them in the fryer, and that famous Cane's sauce. It might be the biggest illusion of freshness. Former employees at centralized packaging facilities in Ohio and Louisiana described industrial vats filled with sauce sitting for up to 4 months before bottling. Photos leaked by a quality control worker showed separated, discolored sauce being greenlit for shipping. The Texas toast isn't exempt either. Mold has become such a recurring issue that staff at a Baton Rouge location were caught scraping visible green fuzz off bread before throwing it on the grill. Employee turnover at Cane's exceeds 85% per year, meaning the person handling your food probably hasn't worked there more than 6 weeks. Training gaps lead to critical mistakes, especially during dinner rushes. In Texas, inspectors found chicken fingers being held in lukewarm bins for over 3 hours, long enough to allow bacterial growth, but short enough for corporate to deny wrongdoing. Undertrained staff, aging sauces, and frozen food dressed up as fresh shits, a fried illusion served with a side of deception. Boston Market sells a vision of home-style comfort hearty sides, golden rotisserie chicken, and nostalgia baked into every tray. But the reality behind those glass counters is a reheated disaster. Former employees from Connecticut to Colorado have confirmed a common practice. Leftover rotisserie chickens are refrigerated overnight, then reheated and served the next day as if freshly roasted. Following the company's 2020 bankruptcy filing, cost-cutting measures gutted staff and safety procedures alike. With as few as 2 people running entire locations during off-hours, cross-contamination became unavoidable. One worker from Rhode Island recalled having to prep raw chicken, serve rotisserie meals, and mix salads without time to wash hands or clean surfaces in between. Health inspectors in Ohio found chicken juices dripping onto salad prep counters and raw meat stored next to cooked sides. In Massachusetts, chicken pot pie and salad dishes were left in warming trays for up to 8 hours, quadruple the safety limit. And when something smelled off, it was stirred back into the pot with spices and gravy. A viral image from a Boston market in Michigan showed visibly spoiled chicken being added to a batch of chicken salad. The logic? Waste equals lost profit. If Cane's is selling frozen freshness, Boston Market is repackaging leftovers and betting you won't notice. Zaxby's might not be as flashy as Popeyes or Chick-fil-A, but its problems run just as deep, maybe deeper. As the chain expanded rapidly across the Southeast, quality control got left behind. A 2022 internal audit found that the wings being shipped to franchises varied in size by up to 40%, making it nearly impossible to cook batches evenly. Some wings came out rubbery, others dangerously undercooked, and no one knew which until they were already served. But instead of fixing the supply chain, Zaxby's leaned into sauce. According to former employees in Alabama and South Carolina, managers would instruct workers to drown the wings in sauce if the meat smelled off, especially during times when oil hadn't been changed for over a week. In Georgia, health officials caught 14 locations faking their temperature logs. One leaked document from a Columbus store included handwritten instructions: write what corporate wants to see. Ignore the thermometer. Flour used for batter was sometimes expired. Chicken was double breaded to cover discoloration. And training, minimal. New hires were given just 3 days of prep before being tossed into kitchen chaos. Inspectors found some stores using the same dirty tubs of flour for over a week. When franchises operate like ghost ships with no standardization, the customer becomes the test subject. Zaxby's expansion may have made it a household name, but it did so by gambling with public health. Bojangles sells itself on Southern authenticity biscuit dough rolled by hand, Cajun seasoning in every bite, that charming old-school aesthetic. But behind the heritage branding lies a chemistry experiment. Former workers have exposed that the signature orange Cajun spice isn't made in store, but arrives in massive 50-pound bags of powder laced with sodium phosphate, food dyes, and artificial flavorings. As one whistleblower put it, it's like temps with cayenne pepper. The pressure cooking system Bojangles relies on is even more dangerous. Unlike open fryers, pressure cookers create extreme internal heat, but without proper calibration, that heat becomes uneven. A 2021 study showed that 62% of chicken pieces tested from Bojangles batches were undercooked at the center even, though the outsides were visibly overdone. Cross-contamination was built into daily operations. Prep tables used for raw chicken were reused for biscuit dough, sometimes within minutes, without cleaning. In one North Carolina store, health inspectors found raw chicken juices in flour bins meant for breakfast biscuits. A customer photo later went viral, showing a biscuit with what looked like pink streaks of raw poultry baked into the dough. In 2020, state health officials found 37 Bojangles locations violating hand-washing rules, food storage safety, and pressure cooker maintenance protocols. Managers, desperate to meet drive-through quotas, told workers to skip safety steps entirely. Tradition may be part of the sales pitch, but what's actually served is a blend of neglect and lab-grade chemicals, wrapped in nostalgia. Wingstop's business model is built around a simple idea: more sauce equals more flavor. But according to insiders, it also equals more cover-ups. When the 2021 chicken wing shortage hit the industry, Wingstop partnered with lesser-known poultry suppliers to keep product flowing. Internal emails leaked later that year revealed corporate knew the wings were smaller, older, and inconsistent. The solution? Tell franchisees to sauce more aggressively to mask any texture issues. But all that extra coating came with a price. Sauce stations, meant to be cleaned between each flavor, were being neglected to keep up with volume. Health inspectors found the same tongs used for dairy-based sauces like garlic parmesan also being dipped into supposedly dairy-free rubs. In a 2022 Texas investigation, more than half of tested locations had allergen cross-contamination with vegan wings testing positive for milk proteins. The cooked-to-order claim turned out to be another myth. Former employees from Florida and California locations revealed that most wings are cooked in bulk, then stored in heated drawers for up to 4 hours, only to be sauced when the order comes in. Temperature checks often skipped. One leaked memo from 2023 detailed that over 200 delimitations were found to be operating below food safety compliance standards. Even worse, quality checks meant to test internal temps had been replaced with visual inspection if it looks crispy. It's good, but crispy doesn't equal safe. And when sauces are used to hide what's wrong underneath, you're not just eating wings, you're playing Russian roulette with your health. So the next time you bite into that golden, crispy chicken finger or pull up to your favorite drive-through window, remember there's more than just grease bubbling behind the scenes. From national icons like KFC and Popeyes to seemingly wholesome brands like Chick-fil-A and Boston Market, the pattern is clear. Speed trumps safety and illusion trumps integrity. Raising Cane's sells frozen strips dressed up as hand-breaded. Bojangles pushes nostalgia while serving lab-spiced poultry. And Wingstop, their business depends on you not asking what's hiding under that sauce. Across the country, whistleblowers have risked jobs to tell the truth. Health departments have flagged issues again and again. But as long as profit margins come first, the industry keeps cutting corners. Sand customers keep paying the price. You deserve more than marketing gimmicks and mystery meat. You deserve honesty. Because behind every perfectly plated combo is a kitchen where the rules are bent. The risks are hidden and the truth is buried under breading. And if this is happening at the most popular fried chicken chains in America, what do you think is going on at your local corner spot?